In the small, seemingly inconsequential town of Ellsworth, there existed an apartment complex known by the locals as the Labyrinth. Unlike most buildings, its notoriety wasn't due to architectural grandeur or a tragic history. Instead, it was whispered about for its peculiar, almost mystical phenomenon, the door at the end. New tenant Alex, a writer in search of solitude and inspiration, moved into the Labyrinth, unaware of its odd reputation. The apartment was surprisingly affordable, spacious, and brimming with natural light, a perfect haven for creativity, or so Alex thought. The first few weeks passed uneventfully until one night, while exploring the dimly lit hallways in search of the laundry room, Alex stumbled upon an anomaly. The hallways of the Labyrinth seemed to twist and turn in ways that defied logic, leading them in circles. It was during one such disorienting wander that Alex found it. A door unlike any other in the building, old and wooden, with a brass knob polished by years of use, yet it stood distinctly out of place. Driven by curiosity, Alex reached for the knob, but as their fingers brushed against the cold metal, a voice halted them. A neighbor, Mrs. Green, an elderly lady who had lived in the Labyrinth for decades. "That door," she whispered, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and excitement. "It's not just a door. It's a threshold to the endless hall." Intrigued and slightly amused by what Alex assumed was a local legend, they decided to inquire further. Mrs. Green shared tales of the door's mysterious allure, how it appeared to select tenants at random, offering them entrance into an ever-changing corridor that never seemed to end. Those who entered were rarely seen again, and those who returned spoke of rooms filled with their deepest desires and darkest fears. Despite the warnings, Alex's curiosity transformed into an obsession. They began researching, digging through local archives and online forums, piecing together accounts of past residents who had encountered the door. The stories varied wildly, but a singular thread connected them all. The hallway beyond the door was a place of transformation. Weeks turned into months, and Alex's life began to revolve around the door. They noticed it would appear to them at odd times, sometimes in places where no door had been before. The temptation to open it grew stronger with each sighting, but fear of the unknown held Alex back. One evening, as a storm raged outside, lightning illuminating the hallways in brief, stark flashes, the door appeared to Alex once again. This time, it was different. The air around it hummed with an energy that beckoned them forward, an invisible force pulling at their very soul. With a deep breath, Alex reached out, turned the knob, and stepped through the door into the endless hall. The air was thick and heavy, charged with anticipation. The hallway stretched before them, doors lining either side, each one whispering promises of dreams and nightmares. As Alex walked, they felt the world behind them fading away, their reality now bound to the endless corridor. The doors tempted them, voices calling out with offers of what lay beyond. Yet something deep within urged Alex to keep moving forward, to discover the secrets of the endless hall. As Alex ventured deeper into the endless hall, the air seemed to thicken, each breath a laborious effort. The hall itself, with its dimly lit expanse, appeared to shift and change subtly with every glance backward, ensuring no retreat could be contemplated. The doors, myriad in their designs, ranged from ornate and inviting to simplistic and nondescript, each harboring untold stories beyond their thresholds. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and an indescribable sense of purpose, Alex found themselves drawn to a particularly unassuming door, its surface marred by the passage of time, the wood beneath the peeling paint rough and splintered. The number 404 hung crookedly above it, a silent invitation, or perhaps a warning. Without fully understanding why, Alex felt a compelling urge to open this door, as if it were chosen for them from the very beginning. The room beyond was unlike any Alex had encountered in their life. It was an office, meticulously preserved in time, with an air of the 1950s about it. A typewriter sat at the center of a mahogany desk, papers strewn about, each sheet filled with mid-sentence stops as if the writer had been pulled away abruptly. The room was not just a space, but a slice of someone's life, preserved in amber. Fascinated, Alex moved to the desk, inspecting the papers. Each fragment of text seemed to hint at a larger story, tales of love, loss, and the human condition. It was as if the room was offering Alex a glimpse into the hearts and minds of those who had once occupied this space. The realization dawned on them that these rooms within the endless hall were not merely physical spaces, but manifestations of the occupants' inner worlds. The exploration of the room sparked a transformation within Alex. The realization that stories much like the one they were living lay hidden in the folds of the everyday, waiting to be told. It was a revelation that shifted their perspective on their own writing and the stories they wished to tell. Compelled by a newfound determination, Alex left room 404 behind, the door closing with a soft click that echoed down the hall. The journey through the endless hall continued, each door now a beacon of potential, a chance to dive into the depths of another's soul. Days, or perhaps weeks, passed. Time held little meaning in this place. Alex encountered rooms that challenged their understanding of reality, spaces filled with infinite starscapes, others that contained nothing but a single chair facing a blank wall, and yet each room felt important, a piece of a larger puzzle. The further Alex traveled, the more the hall seemed to recognize their presence, doors opening slightly as they passed, as if inviting exploration. It was during one of these moments, drawn by an inexplicable feeling, that Alex found themselves standing before a door unlike any other. It was taller, grander, and the wood from which it was made seemed to glow with an inner light. This door did not promise or tempt. Instead, it offered understanding, a key to the mysteries of the endless hall, and perhaps a way back to the world Alex had left behind. With a deep breath, filled with both anticipation and apprehension, Alex reached out to the door, ready to uncover the truths that lay beyond. And so we leave Alex once again on the precipice of discovery, the journey through the endless hall far from complete. What will they find beyond the glowing door? The story continues to unfold, the path forward shrouded in mystery, each step a narrative waiting to be woven into the fabric of the labyrinth's legacy. As Alex's hand touched the glowing door, a sudden rush of energy pulsed through the hallway, the air vibrating with unseen forces. The door swung open silently, revealing not another room, but a vast, infinite expanse of white. It was as if they stood on the threshold of creation itself, where possibilities and realities converged into a singularity of existence. Stepping through the door, Alex found themselves in a space where thoughts materialized instantaneously. The abstract concept of time unraveled, presenting past, present, and future as a tapestry to be observed rather than lived sequentially. It was here, in this nexus of infinite potential, that Alex came face to face with the architect of the endless hall, a being not bound by physical form but present in the myriad pathways of reality. The being spoke, its voice a chorus of echoes from every door Alex had encountered. You've journeyed beyond the confines of your own story, seeking understanding in the narratives of others. But what have you learned, Alex? What truths do you carry from the halls you've traversed? Alex, overwhelmed yet emboldened by the presence of the architect, responded, "I've learned that stories are the essence of existence. They bind us, define us, and transcend the very fabric of reality. But more than that, I've discovered that every story, including my own, is a thread in a larger narrative, one that is constantly being woven into the tapestry of the universe." The architect smiled, a concept conveyed more through feeling than any visible gesture. "Then you have found what you sought, Alex. The endless hall is not a place but a journey, one that reflects the endless paths one might take in the pursuit of understanding and connection. But with knowledge comes responsibility. What will you do with this understanding, Alex?" In that moment of clarity, Alex realized their purpose. "I will write," they declared. "I will weave the stories I've found and the ones I've lived into narratives that might guide others, offer solace, or simply entertain. My journey through the endless hall has shown me the power of stories, and I intend to share that power with the world." The architect nodded, and the vast white space began to dissolve, the infinite possibilities narrowing down to a single point of reality. Alex found themselves standing back in the hallway of the labyrinth, in front of the now closed glowing door. But this time they held a key in their hand, not a physical one, but the key of understanding, of purpose. Alex's return to the world was marked not by a grand event, but by a quiet determination. They began to write like never before, their words infused with the depth of their journey. The stories they penned reached far and wide, touching the hearts and minds of those who found solace, joy, and reflection in them. But the labyrinth had one final twist in its halls. Alex discovered that the stories they wrote began to manifest new doors in the endless hall, each one a gateway to the narratives they shared. In this way, Alex became both a tenant and an architect of the labyrinth, weaving their own stories into the endless tapestry of the universe. And so, the story that began with a single door at the end of a hallway twisted into a narrative of infinite possibilities, where the end was just another beginning in the endless cycle of stories that bind us all. Alex's journey through the endless hall was complete, but the stories that emerged from it were just beginning to unfold, a testament to the power of narrative and the endless paths we walk in the pursuit of understanding and connection. Thank you for listening to my channel.